Welcome to the No Church Just Facts podcast, the podcast for people who are sick of church service. Hello, somebody. It's me, your favorite life coach, Micah, and I am excited because today we start our series on biblical polygamy. I know it's a taboo topic that even preachers won't touch, but over the next few episodes, we are going to talk about polygamy from a biblical perspective. Today, I'm going to show you where God defends polygamy. I know you don't know that it's in there, but I'm going to show you where. It's in Numbers chapter 12. Verses 1 through 10. I'm going to be reading from the New Century Version. Why? Because I want you to understand the Bible while I'm reading it to you. It's just that simple. So let's get started. Numbers chapter 12, verses 1 through 10. The first verse says this: Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife. What this says to me is that they were talking shit about Moses because he married another woman.
Oppressed so hard they could not stand.
Let my people go.
Moses was married to a woman named Zipporah who was a Midianite. And in this verse, he marries another woman, and Miriam and Aaron got something to say. Has that ever happened to you? Has someone ever had something to say about what you were doing? Now, what you're doing ain't affecting them at all, right? You are minding your own business, doing your own thing, but they got something to say about what you're doing. And that's what's happening here with Miriam and Aaron. Now, let's move on. Verse number 2 says, they said, "Is Moses the only one the Lord speaks through? Doesn't he also speak through us?" And the Lord heard this. Now, what this says to me is that they are jealous of Moses' relationships with God and his new wife. People get jealous of your connections, of your network, of the people that you know. I know you experienced this before, and it might be you that's jealous of somebody. So this is what's going on here in this verse. Verse number 3 says, now Moses was very humble and he was the least proud person on the earth. Why is the Bible telling us this? The Bible is saying this because they're letting us know that Moses is not combative. Miriam and Aaron are talking all this shit about Moses, and he's not going to say anything. But if you remember, the last statement of the second verse was, and the Lord heard this. Now, when the Bible says the Lord heard this, you got to know that the Lord has something to say or that he's about to do something, or maybe both. So let's keep reading. Verse number 4 says this: so the Lord suddenly spoke to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, all three of you come to the meeting tent. So they went. This is frightening. The Lord called all three of them into the meeting. This is like when you get called into the office or get called into the bedroom after you know you did something wrong. So the Lord called all three of them into the meeting tent. Verse number 5 says this: the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud and stood at the entrance to the tent. He called to Aaron and Miriam, and they both came near. Oh my goodness. I know Moses was relieved. I know you've been in those situations, hanging out with the wrong crowd while they were doing the wrong thing, and you didn't get caught in the mess they got caught in. This is basically what happened to Moses. He didn't get called over. Now, as you can see in the last verse, they heard the Lord's voice, right? So they clearly could have talked to him, but the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud. So that means he got in his vehicle and came down to where they were. Listen, if I am on the phone with you, but I still get in my car, I get dressed and get in the car to come see you about what you said, it must be serious. The Lord must really want their attention. And so let's see what verse 6 says. Verse 6 says, he said, listen to my words. When prophets are among you, I, the Lord, show myself to them in visions, and I will speak to them in dreams. This is God just basically telling them how he communicates with people. He's saying, I wait till y'all sleep to talk to you. I wait until you're in a fixed daze, daydreaming to show you what I want you to see. This is how God communicates normally. Verse 7 says, but not true with my servant Moses. I trust him to lead all my people. God is validating his relationship with Moses, saying, hey, I don't do that with I don't communicate with Moses this way. I trust Moses. Moses is my boy. I trust him. Verse 8 says this, I speak with him face to face, not in hidden meanings. So the King James Version says not in riddles. God is saying, I don't talk to Moses in dreams. I don't talk to Moses in visions. I speak with Moses face to face. And when it says not in hidden meanings, it basically is saying that God doesn't code switch. You know how we do when we want to put on our professional voices and we say, oh, hello, this is Micah. How are you? It's so good to talk to you. God doesn't do that with Moses. God speaks plainly to Moses whenever he communicates with him. The rest of verse 8 says this, he has even seen the form of the Lord. You should be afraid to speak against my servant Moses. This is right. Listen, God is basically saying this. If you got something to say about Moses, I'm going to come see about you because you shouldn't have nothing to say. Moses is my God. You shouldn't have anything to say about Moses because if you do, I'm coming down here, which is basically what he just did. God doesn't play about Moses. Verse number 9 says this. The Lord was very angry with them, and he left. God got so mad, he got back in his vehicle and dipped on their ass. He left. He just built off on them. It's great. I mean, first of all, you don't want God mad at you. You really don't. But the fact that he got so mad that he left the scene, he didn't give him a chance to explain or nothing. He bounced on them. Verse 10 says this, when the cloud lifted from the tent and Aaron turned to Miriam, she was white as snow and had a skin disease. Now, the King James Version says she had leprosy. Now, leprosy was the worst disease that you could have back in those times. And this is what the Lord did to Miriam because Aaron and Miriam had something to say about Moses and his new wife. So if this isn't God defending polygamy, I don't know what is. Listen, tell me if I'm wrong. Let's have a conversation in the comments right now because I want to know what you know. I want you to share your opinion and your perspective with me so that we can get an understanding on what the Bible is saying here because it seems like to me that God is defending polygamy. God is defending Moses having another wife. We've reached a point in the podcast where this life coach wants to leave you with a life lesson, and that is this. Mind your damn business and stay focused on your purpose. If you stay focused on your purpose, God will protect you. If you stay focused on your purpose, you will avoid a lot of the trouble that you are going to get yourself into. Aaron and Miriam are in somebody else's business, and they got in a lot of trouble about it. So do yourself a favor and stay focus. All right, guys, it's your favorite life coach, Micah. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, share, and come back. Take care.
Clap your hands, clap your hands. Come join the Jubilee.